Hey there, and welcome back. It's time for the Golden Age of DC Comics, 365 Days. This is a well-loved coffee table book that I got about 2 decades ago from one of my best friends, and it's been surfing my coffee tables ever since. It's I've read it a few times. It's guests come over and they pick it up and look through it, and it's back in the old days when you'd have company and you'd hang out at your coffee table and you have some drinks, and it's a good conversation piece, and it's a good lens into history and into culture and into publication and into the superhero thing. I mean that thing, yeah, this thing. It's a mythology. It's a modern American mythology. And it began in 1938 with Superman in DC Comics. The Golden Age of DC Comics run 1938 until 1955. The Silver Age begins in 1956 until 1970. Also, the Bronze Age, where I grew up, was 1970 to 1985, and we're in some kind of nebulous, ill-defined modern age that's been from 1985 until now. I got that from Wikipedia. Caveat. Oh yeah, hot coffee. And what goes better with a coffee table book than some great coffee? Oh, that's some good stuff. It's April the 3rd, and two of my favorite characters, a duo, a husband and wife team. Yeah, let's get to it. It's April 3rd. And this, wow. Story by Robert K. Snyder, but art by Joe Kubert from Flash Comics number 88, October of 1947. Joe Kubert is a legend. Yeah. His sons also inherited his talent. The Kubert brothers, they're amazing. Yeah, this is Hawkman and Hawkwoman. And traditionally they're Carter and Shira Hall, or is it Sheila Hall? And as their story evolved, their relationship pretty much kept the same for a long time, until the modern Hawk Girl of Kendra Saunders came around, and yet things always kind of revert back to form as well. So I do believe there is a modern Hawkeye, and they're with the modern Hawkwoman, and Hawkman here will get his big screen film debut in the upcoming DC movie Black Adam, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and and some other JSA level heroes, because, well, Black Adam, we'll get to Black Adam when we see Black Adam. Black Adam is the nemesis of Captain Marvel from Fawcett Comics. He's a black costume with the same lightning bolt and the same magic word. Yet he's from Egypt, so his magic word, like Mary Marvel's, Shazam, is a different acronym based in Egyptian gods. We'll get to Black Adam on Black Adam's Day when we focus on him, but these are the Golden Age superheroes. And so the upcoming Black Adam movie is going to showcase a lot of Golden Age superheroes, also such as Dr. Fate, Kent Nelson, played by Pierce Brosnan. Great casting. I mean, it looks pretty interesting, and Dwayne Johnson has been, could have been tailor made by the Lord to play Black Adam. Yeah, I mean, he's a really interesting villain, but over the past 30 years, he has become an ally the misunderstood anti-hero, so he can do devastating things but get away with it because he's an ally of the good guys. And sometimes he's not. Sometimes, but that gives him some latitude to be a bit of a complex character. But it's not Black Adam's day. But Hawkman will be on the big screen. He's also been on Smallville, and I'm pretty sure in the Arrowverse as well. There's a version of him going back to the Challenge of the Superheroes, that live-action variety show that's beloved by kids my age, because it had Burt Ward and Adam West reprise their Batman 66 10 years later, and it had a real-life Sinestro that was ridiculous, but it's so fun to watch. Yeah, check that out, RTFM. But it's April 3rd. And let's read about this. Yes, once again, story by Robert Koeniger and art by Joe Kubert. Joe Kubert's sons. Are they Andy and Adam? Not Jojo Bear. No. Kubert. Yeah. And I mean, Joe Kubert, I grew up reading Sergeant Rock and those 70s comic books. Just so influential on me. And he opened up the Joe Kubert School of Cartoon and Graphic Art in 1976. And so there's been this whole there are generations of comic book artists that have been educated in their trade through the Joe Kubert School of Cartoon and Graphic Art. And Adam and Andy are his sons, and they are both remarkable artists in their own right. Andy Kubert did a lot with Grant Morrison on Batman and the pre-Flashpoint. See, that's a lot to say in a sentence and expect anyone to understand you but a comic books fan, right? We're talking comic books. So yeah, let's get to the blurb, all right? April 3rd. One test of a successful superhero was the kind of opposition he attracted. Hawkman hit a hot streak in this story, which introduced his ethereal enemy, the Ghost, later known as the Gentleman Ghost. This weird apparition of the night was invisible, but what had really distinguished him was the elegant evening attire, all of it colored white, that draped his insubstantial frame. The transparent transgressor appeared, or failed to appear, in several stories during the original Golden Age, Hawkman's final years. Indeed. So, but we know that Hawkman's come back a few times, and actually, what's been adapted into the modern mythology, the most modern of Hawkman, a winged warrior, thank you, is reincarnation. That's a big part of, it was not part of, I don't think it was part of, let's see, was it part of the Golden Age story, or is that a some kind of adaptation through the history? Hawkman first appeared in Flash Comics #1 in 1940. He was a featured character throughout the 40s. It was right from the beginning. Reincarnation was a big part of Hawkman's who he was. Carter Hall. He was an archaeologist by profession, and he had an affinity for ancient weapons. In the museum he worked in, he was a reincarnation of the Egyptian prince Khufu, and he discovered this mysterious nth metal that can negate the effects of gravity and allow him to fly. So he made a costume with large wings to control his flight and became the crime fighter Hawkman. He also had a companion hawk named Big Red that assisted him in fighting crime. Shira Saunders became a crime fighter Hawk Girl. And Joe Kubert redesigned his mask in Flash Comics 85 in July of 1947, and then replaced the winged hawk-like mask with a simpler yellow cowl that you'll see in 1948. So there is a Hawkman that doesn't have the ear motif. The ear wing. He's got wings on the side of his helmet here, and he loses that later on in the Golden Age, and it's just a hood with the Hawk logo on his forehead, and it's always been Hawkman's always had a weird kind of design with the beak, and seeing Hawkman helms in real life, whether it be in cosplay or in live action, has always been a weird challenge for the costume designer. I mean, very few nail it because it's very comic booky. It really doesn't exist because it's got a beak piece, but you can see his rugged jawline underneath in an exposed area as part of the helmet, but the eyes are meant to be magnified, to be big, because, well, he sees like a hawk. A hawk can see its prey from, how far up there? I've seen hawks dive bomb on squirrel. It's vicious. It's appalling, but at the same time captivating. It's nature. I mean, wow! Talons first, bombing down from the sky. Oh, wow! Yeah, we've got hawks in my neighborhood. I've seen them. Majestic creatures. And yeah, so this has just been, I guess, our primer on Hawkman. Hawkman, he would later be rebooted for the Silver Age. That's how I remember him. The Silver Age and Bronze Age. He's part of the Super Friends. And but he was married. And they were a married couple. And they were just... there were very few married couples, but they were there all the same. Adam had a wife. Barry Allen had Iris West, and they were always engaged. And Superman was always kind of chasing Lois Lane, and because they didn't get married until the 80s, and yeah, so that's Hawkman, and that's today in the golden age of DC Comics, which we're going to be talking about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow to see who and what we're talking about when we turn that page. Like and subscribe if you could be so kind. Hopefully I can earn your subscription. I make cooking videos. I'm a chef. I am an ordained minister, an amateur theologian. We get spiritual here, and we also talk about gratitude a lot. I make gratitude lists in the morning, and if I'm having a bad day, I watch my gratitude list, and it helps me snap my bad day. It's the power of the gratitude list. So tune in, and good luck, namaste, God bless, and see you tomorrow, okay? Bye.